All right, welcome to the Novice Sports Show. Again, you got three guys who came together organically to talk about sports. We want you to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Again, our catchphrase is we might read it, then again, we might not. Like set with that, we're gonna get at our intros. We got my man
AJ.
we got A-Dub. So, of course, I think our last episode we talked a little bit about Caitlin Clark, and then we talked about Angel Reese being the anti-hero or the hero. I think the roles may be swapping, but again, as anybody's been on the internet, we've been seeing a lot of people sliding across the ground and falling everywhere. She might want to pick up some weight or start eating some Wheaties, but we have noticed that she's been taking the brunt of some elbows and some slings and some throws and some arrows. So in the internet streets ain't kind.
Yeah, at all.
So, what do you think about that? Is this her initiation into the WNBA? And she's seeing the grown women because my man Jay always says when you have a 19-year-old playing against a 22-year-olds, the strength difference is immense. So with that, go ahead.
And we're talking 22 and 32.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
them the WNBA ladies, they've been lifting for a
Yeah,
minute.
for a minute.
Um,
And you got the envy and the jealousy on top of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
And,
coming.
and again, I think that's the whole thing, right? It's yes, Caitlin is the golden goose. She's bringing all these eyeballs. I think they really do deep down appreciate that, and they realize this is our opportunity to get people to watch. But still, they're human.
Yeah.
And they're like, I've been doing this for so long. I'm better than she is. I can hit these threes. Why are you paying attention to her? So when you got a chance and she's standing there under the basket looking up for the rebound,
Elbow.
bam,
Yeah.
shot to the kidney, what I'm saying? And the kid was looking up at the sky like, what happened?
And nobody's helping her out.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's like they're gonna have to figure out, number one,
Oh my God.
I think the league, if it happens a few more times, there's gonna be a phone call from the commissioner to all the other teams and say, look, chill it out a little bit. Because the last thing we need is for her to get injured
Yeah, now we know eyeballs.
and we're done. So we want you to be physical. We want her to play. We want her to earn her stuff. But the cheap shots, and you watch how many technicals start getting called and how many, possible ejections there are and that kind of thing.
Not only that,
I think that's going to ramp up.
it's going to be you think it's going to be the Brady effect
Mm.
for Caitlin? I mean, think about it, the new rules created just for her.
I don't think it
Or is
goes.
too soon.
I don't think it goes that far,
All right.
but
not first year.
I think they will start like
Giving fines.
hitting people with technicals or watching a little bit closer just to make sure everything is above ground.
Yeah.
You don't want a cheap shot to take her out. If it's a legitimate rebound and something happens, that happens, no big deal.
Mhm.
But if somebody's taking a shot and then just trying to make a name for themselves,
Yeah.
I think that'll be something that the league is going to shut down.
So because of the salary in the WNBA,
Yeah.
what's a reasonable fine? What a reasonable fine?
I mean, everything.
Maybe like 5, 6. I mean, you want to hurt. I mean, because think about it. Your salary. I mean, the highest paid person makes $74K.
No, the highest paid person is making 200 something.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
so the draft, the
y-
rookies.
yeah,
Make
yeah,
that.
the
So
rookies
I was
make-
right. So
yeah.
even if you're making $200,000 a year, $10K out of your check, it hurt.
Yeah, I mean, they know what,
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what
and
would the-
when you're not making that much, anything they take is
yeah,
gonna
go
hurt.
hurt.
And then if they hit you with a suspension and
Because then you ain't getting your game check
Yeah.
day, your check, your game check.
Yeah,
day. Yeah, that
yeah.
might.
And then it's interesting to see. I mean, Indiana, do they have an enforcer?
No, I mean,
But
it's still a.
just surprising that nobody wants
Well, see,
to
I don't think
have
it's.
the opportunity to be that when
don't-
you
well,
can get some
I don't think it's the fact that they need
credibility
an
as well.
enforcer. It's the fact that it's a young team. I mean, I think
Yeah.
it's a young team, and they're still got to find their way, and they really just, like I said, they're just young.
Yeah.
They have no veteran leadership. I mean, because a veteran, if okay, if this is my cash cow, I'm a veteran. I'm going to defend her, and they have to bond, and all that has to
Right.
happen. And if you're a young team and you've only had you had the draft, you had practice, now you're starting. You have no camaraderie with that person. I don't know you.
Right.
So if somebody punch you in the face in the middle of the street, I'm gonna be like, what did you do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they still building that, and
Yeah.
I don't know that it's so much they need an enforcer, but if I think the first couple times it's just catching everybody off guard. Like,
Right,
oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
like dang. But
And it's probably second guessing, like, do I risk my paycheck for?
very true.
Yeah.
So I think that'll
Yeah,
come
camaraderie.
naturally. It just they got to figure it out.
Yeah,
They got to
you know,
figure it out. And
yeah.
I think probably now that it's getting so much attention,
They'll start to.
the next time it happens, you'll
Some-
probably have somebody come flying in
Yeah.
with another shove.
Just that the coach is gonna be like,
Then they'll have to
"Don't-
separate it. Yeah,
you don't come off the bench.
exactly.
And we got Detroit and Indiana or something. They fighting and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They're like, hey, hold on.
Yeah.
Everybody be watching it too. It'll be on the internet streets again.
Right.
Exactly.
I know also this past week, Sabrina, she debuted her second shoe.
Okay.
It was called the Conductor.
Right.
colorway. It was like a
Oh, the shoe.
all white. Yeah, the shoe.
Shoe,
It's
alright.
kind of all white. A little bit of iridescent on the white as well, but it's mainly all white.
I'm gonna tell you
Nice shoe.
something else about Sabrina. Sure, she doesn't have like crazy stats. Like she's not like, and they don't really. I'm trying to figure out because again, I didn't start watching or paying attention until really this year. She had the 3-point shootout with Steph, and
Yeah.
that was big.
Yeah. I watched
But the players that I feel like they're really pushing right now, of course, Caitlin, Angel, Cameron Brink,
Asia Wilson.
and then Asia Wilson, who's the best player.
They talked about
Kelsey Plum is on a lot of stuff.
And then the other one,
Um,
the one that just scored 40. That she has the last name. We just talked about. She's dark skin.
that. Sparks.
No, not on the Sparks.
Oh, you talking about
It's
I know you're talking
Aya.
about starts anyway.
I don't know.
But
Yeah,
but yeah,
yeah.
but she
But
doesn't
she-
have like commercials and
No,
stuff.
no, no.
And so I'm like, those are the ones that are kind of you see the most like in
Okay.
commercials and like the media push.
Yeah.
But
Oh, we forgot Brianna Stewart.
Okay.
Here and there.
she's one of the best players, but she's not on commercials.
Okay, okay.
I'm talking about like the media.
Oh, media,
push,
okay, okay,
Getting
yeah.
interviewed all the time
Yeah.
in the magazines.
Yeah.
Those are kind of the main ones.
Okay.
Speaking of Brianna Stewart, did you hear?
Yes, the league that she's
They
about to
start-
create.
Okay,
The
start
3-on-3?
3-on-3. Now, this is my thing. That's the
we-
look I had.
Man, nobody watching that.
Exactly.
But
It-
I mean, some people watch the big three.
Some people, and listen,
on cue. Some
Yes.
people.
and not very many people. They were trying to get Caitlin to play to get
Yeah.
somebody to watch. Good thing she didn't do that, by the way.
Yeah.
But a 3-on-3 league, I get it, but they're already talking about the amount they're gonna pay them
Right,
is
yes.
way
Way
more
more
than
than
they're
the-
getting even in the
WNBA,
WNBA.
yeah.
And they're trying to, and I get it, this is a great idea, if it works, so that they don't have to go overseas to play.
Yeah.
Because the stuff that happened with Brittany Griner, they're like a little bit like, I don't know if I
Yeah.
trust, what's going over there, and you might not get to come back.
Especially when people having the
Yes,
there's stuff
wars
up
and
there.
stuff going on, and so I get it, and that'd be great if people don't have to go over,
Right.
but 3-on-3,
Because then I wonder how much would be a ticket. Because maybe if the tickets are not as super high, you
Yeah,
can't get a
yeah.
lot of fans to come.
yeah, it
in.
doesn't matter about the tickets. 'cause it's gonna be a
small.
The odds, yeah,
Eyeball.
It's gonna be a small venue,
Yeah.
and that's what they need to realize. It's not the basketball that's bringing the eyeballs, it's the personality
Out,
and
yeah.
who they are. If they could let college players get in this
And be different.
and make it be now you might be onto
Hey,
something.
look, that's a.
Cause if you could get a team with Juju and
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
Paige
Yeah.
and look, Haley Van Lith and the Cavender twins,
Yeah.
but those are the ones that
Everybody looking
that
at.
got the
See, yeah,
50
see,
million followers.
See, 50 million followers and what? You can do a live stream.
You
and
can do all
get-
kinds of.
Hey, you advertise the game that you're gonna play
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah, I mean.
Get
those
some
are all-
celebrities to
People
come.
would watch those games.
Yeah, see, then that's the whole point. See, and again, that may be something that's in the future because of the way amateurism in college is being done away with.
Yeah.
So, and again, you gotta be smart, you gotta have the right lawyers and you gotta have the right people and you can make some money.
Yeah.
Like I said, but for me, am I really gonna watch 3-on-3 women's basketball? No,
That's
I'm not.
super interesting.
I'm not gonna watch it. I mean, if it doesn't have a good storyline, why am I watching?
But think about this, the storylines in the WNBA should be way bigger than anything you get in a 3-on-3.
Yeah.
'Cause at least you got established teams and
Yeah.
rivalries and whatnot.
Yeah, because you have,
And they struggle with that part of it.
yeah, right now.
So
Literally.
the 3-on-3 league, to me, it's only gonna be huge if you got people that
Yep.
people want to watch. And
Yeah.
to me, that's the college girls right now. And then a couple of the the WNBA people.
Yeah.
But
You know, or maybe a twist would be, okay, you get your
Team together and you get to play against these guys for like $1 million. You know, that could be a twist, but then,
Like a team cash.
guess what?
Prize thing.
yeah, but guess what? I still ain't watching it till the end.
yeah,
Yes.
nobody watching it.
That's the last two teams standing.
I said, I'm gonna watch it. I mean, seriously. I mean, that's what's going on with the NBA right now, right? I
So-
didn't watch one game
So
or two. Actually, I watched a couple games.
would in a business standpoint,
Mhm.
would the WNBA, if it ends up getting big, the 3-on-3, wouldn't the WNBA kind of not shine its light?
No,
on that?
it would
'Cause
be,
isn't that
no.
the same way that
No,
they doing with the
no.
big three?
Well, the
No.
NBA has no part of it. The big three in the NBA aren't,
Together.
Right, I know they're not together.
and the
see, but
they don't
WNBA and
support.
this aren't gonna be
Yeah.
together
Okay.
either.
See, not
It's
only that though, it's
completely
not gonna
separate
be,
thing.
and I don't see those two leagues competing with each other. It'll be in the off season, kind of like the NFL versus the UFL,
Okay. Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
I
that's a
mean,
good way to put it
you
together.
go, which game are you really watching? How many, which stadium has 70,000? Which stadium has 15,000?
Yeah, there's not even.
Which
there's
one
not
got
even-
Aaron Rodgers in it?
Yeah,
and
which
which
not
one
even-
don't?
yeah,
Yeah.
there's not.
It's not even close, you know?
But you could get a scenario depending on how they market it, where at off season, again, you got to look at what's it going up against.
Yeah.
If it's during March Madness, nah, you don't have
Ain't
a
happening.
chance. If it's going up against the NFL, you don't have a chance. But again, you got to get the right people involved in it.
You have,
You
And
gotta be at
then-
the right time.
I mean, if
right?
you get a team with, on this team, you got Angel Reese, Flage, and somebody else from LSU. And on this team, you get Caitlin puts an Iowa team together
yeah.
with her and Kate. People will watch that just
Right.
because of the old rivalry.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I don't know. It'll
Yeah.
be,
I mean, they can try to start it. I mean, like I said, everybody, you know,
I mean, hey, it's their
Well,
money.
it's their-
They're bankrolling it,
yeah, you want, look, I'll sign a check if you want to pay me $1 million.
And then back to the comment you made right quick before we switch topics.
Yeah.
And not the league itself, but are the stories starting to change to where it looks like Angel is the hero as opposed to the villain?
No,
in
I
college?
don't think I don't think,
Or not hero, she's getting, well, she was always liked, but they're not looking at her in that light.
well, no, I think her team has done really well. And I think they prepped her really, really well to answer questions in press conferences. You know, because like I said, it wasn't fair to what they did. You know, again, being a 19-year-old, losing a game, you get emotional because
Right.
you put so much into it because it looked like to me, it looked like she had no help. But, you know, what's going on? So now, I think, you know, with anybody, you say, okay, this is how you're gonna answer this question. You know, she was poised, you know, and again, she answered all her questions the right way.
Yeah,
You know,
she did.
I'm a rookie. This is basically the hazing that you get from the older players. You're gonna have to prove yourself. We're not gonna give you anything. You know, I haven't seen an interview with Caitlin where she's actually said anything similar to that. You know, most of the time you see her, think about it, when Angel got smacked on the ground, she didn't sit there. She was like, okay, I gotta get up. All right, Caitlin gets smacked across the ground. She's looking for, okay, where's my teammates to help her? Because that's what they did in college. That's what they did at Iowa, right? Hey, I got smacked on the ground. Everybody runs over. Are you okay? Are you okay? They all help you up.
Right.
You know, they was like, get up, let's go.
well, I mean, but to be fair to Caitlin though, Caitlin is tough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
man.
And
is.
she hasn't complained one bit. She didn't have like that diva attitude.
And we don't know everything
No,
that's
we
been
don't.
said on the court.
When they interview her, she's not complaining. She's not.
She's not.
She's like, "Hey, I'm not playing well.
Yeah.
You know, I finally hit a shot. You know, I'm glad we won the game." Like, I haven't heard anybody be able to say anything that Caitlin isn't a great teammate. And I
Yeah,
think-
nothing like that.
And I think she's gonna earn the respect. She's earning the respect
They
now
have to.
I mean,
of all
that's-
these of all
See,
the.
that's part of the camaraderie, right? You
Yeah.
know, again, if we are out, you know, let's say me and Jay are out. We go to a bar, Alan shows up. Hey, it's my friend Alan. Alan gets punched in the face. I ain't jumping in. I'm like, yo, dude, what did you say?
Yeah.
And I probably said something.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but like I
You know,
know,
but now, if we go out, we tight. You know, somebody howling, I ain't gonna question. I'm coming over
Yeah.
the top of the bottle.
Yeah, and I think all of this
Man,
does.
I
slept with his wife. What?
Yeah. I think all of this does, at least for me, give me more clarity on how competitive WNBA is though.
Well, I mean, but I don't think it's never been a question of the competitiveness. I think it was a question of the marketing. They never had any true, I mean, this, like I said, cash cow. The right stories, the right time, and they all got drafted.
Yeah.
So now you can continue the story. Again, you got the what? You got the baby face, got the heel. You know, as we said last week, you know, it's they're pushing it, and I think what Alan said, I'm sorry, Jay said was they're pushing the young people against the old regime. You know, especially then I think the millennials will jump on that and they'll love it because they'll be like, yeah, we got to get these old crotchety people out.
Yeah.
I mean, because think about it. In what league were you literally in the NFL about 32, you're about done.
Yep.
In the NBA, you're starting the decline, right? These women are still playing really good high level basketball way into their 30s.
Yeah, they're the stars of the league
Yeah.
at that age.
Yeah.
And so the young, they just have to figure out like you said, the marketing, and that's what they don't. Some of them don't understand
Yeah.
is that they're like yelling like, "We've been playing great basketball for years."
Oh,
When it's not about the great basketball, that's a part of it, a very small part of it,
Yeah.
because as popular as it is now, if the games were horrible and the games were 25-23 because nobody can make a shot, nobody's watching that either, no matter what the storyline is.
somebody likes that.
But the fact that the games are actually competitive and you got the storylines and you got the star power and you got the personalities, that's what you got to have.
Yeah.
So the more they get the popular players out in front and then figure out who the next popular people are coming along, then that's how you got to keep it
You gotta
moving.
keep it moving. I mean,
But-
because
It'll be interesting to see, how does women's college basketball do this year without Caitlin, without Angel,
With
because
just Paige and Juju.
but there's no rivalry,
Yeah,
right?
right.
I mean,
but they-
they played,
But that's in the
but
tournament.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they're probably not on the schedule this
Yep.
year,
oh,
and it wasn't like there was any kind of animosity. It could end up going because I'm picking UConn because I think they're going to be
they
loaded.
gonna be loaded.
And so it's going to come back to the whole, are they just dominant? South Carolina, but there's not like a rivalry. So
Right.
you got to figure out what that is to see if you can keep building on the success.
Yeah.
And then with the NIL stuff, they're going to find the player that's the new hot thing, and they're going to push that.
Yep.
So that'll keep that part of it going.
So yeah, it is. I mean, it's just gonna be interesting. Said I read some stuff on the NL.
Yeah, especially with
It's
that
gonna fall out.
eligibility. Yeah.
It's gonna be falling out, bro. They talking about what sports are gonna get. They talking about cutting sports now. It's scary. But
Yeah.
anyway, on another topic, we can go ahead and roll into our Bronny conversation. Like I said, so of course Bronny's only working out for two teams, whether the Phoenix and LA.
Yep.
So he's catching the heat because one, he's decided to stay in. I knew he wasn't coming back to college.
And also, it's funny that he's catching heat because he's not saying anything wrong.
No, 100%.
Which is
No,
funny.
They just don't like the fact that it's the whole nepotism thing, right?
Yeah.
The only reason we're talking about you is because of your dad.
LeBron.
Well,
Yeah.
guess what? Powerful people have been helping their kids
Yeah.
since day one.
Anytime.
And, Donald Trump got his first million because he borrowed money from his dad. And but then after he got it, it was on him to build it, right?
Yep.
So Bronny, yeah, the door is open because of who he is, because of what his name is. Now it's gonna be up to him to prove that he deserves a spot.
You're right.
And the other thing that I think is interesting,
Mhm.
he also happens to have the best agent
In the world.
Yeah.
In the
and
world.
so when your agent says to other teams, this is what my client's gonna do.
Yeah.
Whether you think that client is deserving of
Well, yeah,
that,
about to say, whether or
guess
not-
what? He got the agent that says he's deserving.
Yeah.
What is
It's
that
on you now to decide, do you want to work with us?
or not?
Because he said, look, we're not going just anywhere. We need an opportunity for him to be able to be developed, for him to be in the right spot,
We're not doing a two-way.
which is perfect. Yeah, he says he's not doing it two-way. That's what you want your agent to say. Anybody, the top 20 dudes in the league
Ain't saying
all
that.
wish they had him as their agent,
Yeah.
speaking that way for them.
Because now you create because what you do is you, what is it? You're not flooding the market, right? You're creating a demand is what his agent is doing. Because now think about it. If he went and worked out for everybody, you know, you're not getting the press you're getting now. Now, I'm only working out for 2 dudes. And if you want to evaluate me, guess where you gotta go?
Yeah.
You gotta come here to evaluate me. I'm not going to evaluate. Now, don't get me wrong. I do agree with some of the other stuff where, you know, would we be talking about him if he wasn't his son? Probably not. I'm just being honest. I mean, that's just the truth. I mean, I watched him play. I watched a couple games at USC. Nothing really jumped out at me. And again, I'm not a basketball dude. Like I said, nothing jumped out. You know, then of course I listened. I watched 2 interviews on 2 scouts, and they were like, "Yo, the man's a defensive liability on the switch because everybody that switched on him scored him, literally."
Yeah.
So I was just like, "Yeah, he has great basketball IQ. Yeah, but so do other players.
Yeah.
You know, and these guys played better at better schools against better competition. So, you know, again, is he going to get drafted? I don't know.
And he has the magnifying glass on him as well.
Well, see, that's another
Being that
thing too.
he's not Braun
Yeah.
in the sense
Well,
of generational.
Yeah, but see, but that's that's the scary thing, right? Because you know, we all love Michael, MJ, right? You know, look at his sons. You know, when your dad is the greatest basketball player on the planet, bro.
They expect your son to be.
Well, it's not about expectations. It's just like, how do you? I
Nah,
mean,
yeah.
how do you as a you know, growing up in that, your dad's everywhere on everything. He is the face of the league, and you got to come behind that.
tough.
Bruh, I mean, come on. I mean, when you say the bar is set high, I mean, you
Yeah.
literally
Can't get set any
you
higher.
can't get set any higher other than you winning 10 straight championships. Hold up, you would have literally, you would have to, in my mind, you know, to appease the masses. You would have to score 30 to 40 every night. You'd have to do triple doubles. Your team would have to be undefeated.
Yeah.
Then you would have to go to the NBA and win.
Yeah.
And
that
even
gonna happen?
and even with that, people would say he wouldn't even be in the
Then,
league.
yeah.
Because dad was
So I'm just thinking, as people are saying that Bronny shouldn't be in the league, he's only in the league because of his father, right?
Well, I
Do you think it would be as much input on that kind of idea of that if Bronny wasn't named Bronny?
Well,
It would
well,
still
it's
be
not
the same
it'll be
thing.
Same thing. I mean, because I mean, Jordan's son ain't some of his. I mean, think about it, right? Okay. Think about it like this. What's the name about the hitch from French Lick? His grandson is getting how much press?
I didn't even know he had a
He
grandson.
got a grandson and a boy can ball,
Okay.
right? But he's getting because I think he's top 10 in the country. He's got to pick a college.
How old is he?
He's young. He's
I've never heard of him.
Yeah, he's been
High school.
High school.
Okay.
High school. The boy can play. From what you know, from the highlights, but everybody lets get on highlights. So I'm like, you know, would he be getting the?
Oh, yes, he actually is good though.
He is good.
He is good though.
He is
I know
good.
exactly.
Would
what
he
you're
be getting the attention he would be getting if his grandfather wasn't Larry Bird?
Probably not.
Thank you.
That gives you. I mean, that gives you something.
That gives you some
to-
credibility. That gives you something to work with.
It
though.
gives you.
Yeah,
a little jump start, a little jump
Exactly.
And then, as we always say, the Mannings.
Now you gotta show
Yeah.
your. Now you gotta show your.
No,
talent.
just saying the Mannings.
Yep.
Would
Uh,
would the grandson at Texas be getting any love if his name was
Not man.
Smith.
John?
Well, see, that's the thing. He in high school
Yeah.
had 30 million followers
Yeah.
because again, he's the
Man.
next in line.
Mhm.
Plays if he played defensive tackle, nobody would be.
Yeah, but he plays.
But he's a
quarterback.
quarterback. And so yeah, exactly. So that's
You know,
it's
so
the
yeah,
exact same thing.
so don't get me wrong. I get it, as in the fact that I mean, but that's just how it is. And
Yeah.
again, as he said earlier, rich folk been helping their children ever since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
For husband,
Yeah, for-
yeah.
yeah.
If you can help your
You
if you can help your kid, you
don't
help your kid.
you
Now,
know, so
I like the fact that number one, if you go back and look and think about all the superstar parent athletes,
Mhm.
how
I say
many?
Braun ain't even as worse as LeVar.
But he's not even. He's not even.
He's smart. He's a good marketer.
Yeah.
He's a great marketing. machine.
But
Not
but,
like LeVar.
but I'm saying, think about the superstar parent.
Mhm.
How many of their kids
Make it.
make it or like make superstar level, right? So think of Dell Curry. He wasn't a superstar. He was an NBA player.
Yep.
All right. Kobe's dad. He wasn't a superstar. He was an NBA player.
Right.
So
A
there's
lot of them are like that.
you know,
Yeah.
Michael Thompson. he went number one, but he was always a
Either the
role
dad's
player.
really good or the son's really good.
But the son's not, so like, exactly, you don't get both where it's
The
like the
Brunson,
greatest.
Jalen Brunson and his dad.
I don't even remember his dad playing, but
Yeah.
But-
Or Devin Booker. His dad played.
there's lots of,
Yeah, but
there's
they
lots
weren't
of,
superstars.
dad, kid,
Yeah.
but rarely does, the
They both
great
meet
dad-
expectations.
exactly.
Yeah, because
So think about, and then if you play the same sport,
Mhm.
so think about Tiger Woods' son, right?
playing golf.
He's playing golf. And so the expectation, your dad is the greatest. So now you got to be great,
greatest.
right? LeBron
The
is the
expectation.
greatest, one of the greatest. Bronny, now you got to be great. If Bronny was playing baseball or football or
Yeah.
lacrosse,
Yeah.
nobody would really,
Yeah.
because there's nothing to measure you. So that's why I give Bronny credit,
I do.
because that's a
He knows how
lot
to
of
handle it.
pressure.
So that was like, and I just saw this a couple weeks ago because we're talking about father son. Denzel Washington's son is just starting to act, but he played football,
Okay.
right? And he was, I mean, he was good, but he wasn't that good,
Yeah.
right? But they were like, why are you going to act? He's like, well, I wanted to chase my own
Do my own
dreams
thing.
first.
First.
He said, think about it. My dad, Denzel Washington. Seriously? Why
Yeah.
would I want to get into acting right out of high school? He said, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, like I said, but yeah, I mean, I do get it, again, but I'm of the opinion of, if he was just another player, but again, he probably would not be getting looked at. I wouldn't draft him. I would follow his advice, which would be, I would sign him to a free agent contract and bring him in that way. And again, if I want to sell some tickets, I'll throw them on the floor with 30 seconds left. Put both of them on the floor side by side, make sure we get a good caption and throw it out there.
Yeah.
But like I
It's
said, we'll
crazy
see.
because you got another one coming right behind Bronny.
Well,
Yeah.
Bryce.
Yeah, I know.
Bryce
I've
get-
seen Bryce.
Physically, he looked like he got the intangible.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I watched him. I watched the highlights. He looked.
I
really
think he
good.
could shoot the best out of all of them.
Got
Yeah.
good
The
inside
youngest
game. He really does.
Right.
Like I said, when I watched Bryce, because I was trying to figure out when I watched him, I was like, why didn't you talk about Bryce?
But
One,
if you,
he's
if
really
you,
young.
Yeah.
And I think after Bronny, you learn some lessons about how to handle.
Yeah.
And so, who knows, Bryce might end up being the one that's like, I ain't really into basketball like that.
but if you
I'm
really
playing,
look
but
ahead.
I,
Playing golf.
if
yeah,
you really look at their games, Bronny, Bryce, none of them play like their father. Like none of them are as aggressive as their father
Well,
offensively.
well, think about it. How could you be number one? And number two, none of them have the physical.
Mhm.
It's LeBron James.
Right.
So he's a one of one.
Right.
6'8", 240,
Yeah.
run like a deer, jump out of the gym,
Yeah.
basketball IQ, everything you want, right?
An experiment, a scientific.
Yeah,
So
and
LeBron built in a lab.
so Bronny, has the pressure because he's the first son. He's LeBron Jr. They were smart not calling him LeBron, calling him Bronny,
Bronny,
so he kind of could get his own, put his own name out there, right? So that took a little bit off, but everybody still knows who your
Yeah.
dad is.
Yeah.
The fact that he plays basketball, still plays, people hate on him, but he still plays at a high level,
yeah.
and yes, he benefits from his dad and his name, but you still gotta be able to back that up to some extent.
And then we talk about it to where it's like, yeah, Bronny may not get drafted or Bronny may go
Well,
number one or X, Y, and
I
Z.
don't think so. Well,
But
Mhm.
in the long run, Bronny may be one of the few out of this draft to still be in the league.
That was my point.
Well,
There's,
that's the thing, right? His agent is smart, right? Not only did he create the marketing, not only did he create demand, what he's doing is what he needs to be developed. Again, he's only had 1 year of college basketball, right?
not even a whole year.
after a
Not
whole health
Again,
issue.
after health
Right.
issue, right? So basically, and I'll be honest, what you saw when you see somebody coming off injury, you're not seeing them at 100% because
Right.
you still got the mental aspect, you got the physical aspect, and you have the mental
Yeah.
aspect. You roll your ankle, 6 weeks, you still think your ankle's rolling.
Yep.
So
And
you
this
gotta-
dude had cardiac arrest.
Right.
yeah,
right.
So you're.
We wouldn't even be talking about anybody cardiac arrest going into the draft. Like, you serious,
Yeah,
bro? Like,
yeah, you see, so so he's going into rap, so he's gonna have to go to a spot where I believe, and again, where he needs to sit and learn behind a veteran.
Yeah.
Right, and even if that's his dad, I mean, LA would be, okay, yeah, you get him in, you get him developed, you get him, then of course, and again, perfect example of what we said, right? We didn't know You said Brunson, you didn't even know Brunson was on the Maverick squad. Now Brunson is
Oh, yeah,
on,
with all three of
yeah,
them.
with all three of them. So now Brunson, in his younger years, after being someplace else, now is the fate
Now we're
almost.
really talking about it for real.
No, I'm talking about, but he basically, when you talk about New York, you talk about Brunson.
Yeah, he's the face of
He's
to
the
that.
face of that team.
Yep.
You know, and believe me, when he was playing with Dallas with Dirk, as Dirk was declining, he was still putting up good points.
Yep.
You know, how they let him leave? Well, Luka was 19. Luka wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he wasn't.
Luka wasn't doing what?
You know, I'm not Luka. Joker. Oh, is it Joker? Which one?
Dirk.
No, Dirk was on the decline.
You talking about Luka with Dallas?
Yeah, when he was 19, fresh off the squad.
Yeah,
He was not. He was killing statistically, but he wasn't
Yeah, but
leading
he
the
wasn't,
team
leading the team.
in the direction of how he leads now.
Yeah, so you know, so you look at all that. So yeah, I believe he shouldn't get drafted. You know, because it ain't the 2 rounds. You know, don't waste. If I was a team, I would not waste a draft pick on him. I would be like, look, we want you to come in, like your agent said. We want to develop you. Because think about it. Okay, if you develop him and he turns into something even close to his dad, you got a marketing windfall.
Yep.
Like I said, even close. But you know, but like the history is not.
I don't know. It's just
like that.
It's just interesting, but like you said,
Mhm.
he may end up being one of the few out of this draft to
Yeah.
be in the league later in the years. But it's also interesting that he wants, or they're saying that he's doing his draft process with Phoenix and LA. The
Yeah.
reason I say that is because not that the teams aren't good, but I haven't heard that these 2 teams are really developing young players at a
Well,
at a high
definitely not.
rate.
Well, definitely not the Lakers because
Yeah,
they're in win now mode, right? This is the thing.
So do you bring? No, I'm just like, do you bring in? Do you buy somebody or bring somebody from OKC to the coaching staff, being that the LA doesn't have a coach?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, just-
Because look, here's the way it works. Here's the thing. The draft is an inexact science.
all of them.
Whether you draft in number 1, whether you draft in number 60, right? If you go through any pick, just randomly pick a year, there's dudes that went top 5 that you're like, who was that? Never
Right,
heard of him
exactly.
before.
And they're never in the league.
So when it's so inexact, especially this year,
Where it ain't no clear cut.
when there's right, why not take LeBron's son, right? You know you're gonna get a dude that's not a knucklehead. You know you got a dude that's from a great family that
Right.
grew up with all the. You know he's gonna take care of his body. You know he's got the genetics. You know he's got we think the mental to be able to fight through all the negative press and all the stuff he's gonna hear because he's been doing it.
Don't get plenty of.
People saying you shouldn't be on the team. I think you're gonna get somebody that's gonna work. I don't think you're gonna get somebody that's a diva that's
Right,
gonna
you're
be
not
like,
lackadaisical.
right. And so why not take a chance on this dude versus the dude from, South Iowa State University who, put up some numbers in college. But it's all,
Yeah.
or some kid from Ukraine that you heard about. It's a roll of the dice anyway. I feel like you got more of we kind of know at least a little bit what we're gonna get, even if he doesn't develop into a star.
Do you think Bronny's gonna go through that little Caitlin Clark phase?
No.
Where it's like
No,
people
I
are
don't-
kind of like,
No,
I don't think
Bully
he's gonna.
him,
I don't think he's
bully
gonna.
no,
if
because
he
I don't
plays.
think, no, I mean, I don't,
especially if Bron not in the league.
no, I don't think so because, I mean, he's not gonna get that type of press. If his dad retires, he's not getting that type of press. That's
Well, no,
just
his dad's not retiring. He
No,
would
that's
get
it.
that. He would get that as a rookie.
Rookie, yeah, that's what I'm
And
saying.
they're gonna light into him in the locker room because they're gonna be like they're gonna.
No, but in the locker room, he's talking about like.
I'm talking on the
Yeah,
floor.
Well, number
Oh,
one,
he's
he's
getting
not gonna
wrong.
play,
If he does,
and number two, yes, they're gonna take a shot at him when they can. Yes, yes.
I don't
And Bronny should try to dunk on somebody the first chance he gets to make a name for himself. Bronny, even more than them trying to get him,
he needs to.
he needs to try to get somebody because
Yeah.
he's going to have to prove his
Yeah, 'cause-
spot
yeah.
every day.
and I feel like he knows like how Bronny plays
Mhm.
is like he's strategic.
We,
Like he doesn't just he lets the game come to him. So he may catch somebody and dunk on him.
He could
Well, see,
he
that's-
could
he
do
could
it.
do it,
Athletically,
yeah.
he could do it.
Okay, but if you're playing, guess what? When you're playing very strategic, unless you're being very aggressive and you're strategizing, you're not being aggressive.
Well, he's not aggressive anyways.
That's what I'm saying though. Any athlete who is worth his salt has a little bit of a dog in him.
Yeah, yeah.
period. You know, if I'm playing corner and I'm letting the game come to me, guess what's gonna happen? I'm gonna get cooked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
And that's the fact.
I think it's that,
So if you being that strategic, no, I
That
mean,
ain't gonna work, man.
whenever I played or practiced, I was never street. I was the dog constantly.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, you want to come over here? You ain't catching nothing. Okay, you're gonna have to. That's what you have to do. Because if you gonna sit back and let it, nah, he's gonna have. If what you say is true, he's gonna have to step up and say, look, okay, my dad was who he was, but I ain't my dad. I am who I am. You know, so if you chuck me in the show, I'm gonna throw a punch. I'll take the technical. I'm gonna be the enforcer, but you ain't 6'3". I don't care.
Yeah.
See, and
I
that's the
took
thing.
5 shots in college, but in the league, I'm taking 10.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the thing.
Yeah.
You just don't know. He's not gonna play. First of all, he's
Yeah,
not
he's
ready to play a lot,
Yeah.
right? When he gets he's gonna have to do it in practice.
Earn his
He's
minutes.
gonna have to earn his minutes,
Right.
right? Because who's the 12th man on the Lakers this year? Who's the 12th man on any? They don't play. You're lucky to get a spot on that bench.
You're lucky to practice.
And people are gonna hate on him for taking that spot from somebody else.
Yeah.
Especially, and I heard somebody saying this, they were like, you know, Bronny has a silver spoon in his mouth and he has lived in the lap of luxury, has all the advantages. He's taking a spot from somebody that's scrapping and fighting to,
Okay.
that's not Bronny's fault. That's not Bronny's fault.
Ain't Giannis' brother on
hold
the
on.
field?
Hold
And don't
up,
keep
hold up.
playing.
If that's the case, you got a lot of NFL players who've done that, because there's a lot of father-son combos. The Matthews family's one of them.
Yeah, they were good though.
I'm just saying, but all of them were good, but the dad was good. So, I'm sorry, if I'm a parent and I've played baseball, whatever, my daughter wants to play some softball, you don't think she's gonna get professional training?
Right.
It ain't my fault.
But it also goes back to what y'all have been saying, though.
Yeah, I mean,
Everything is not
fair.
even everything is not about on the court.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not. Like I said,
Like, yeah, he may be a dog on the
But-
court, but he a knucklehead.
yeah.
I'm gonna take
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I mean, like I said, so I get, but you know, most of these teams, I believe, like I said, they do their research. And again, it's an inexact science for
Yeah.
all of it, but you know, they want to get as close to whatever they can. You know, again, if I was the GM, I would not draft him. I would get him signed a restricted free agent deal. That way I can develop him, you know, say, hey, yeah, you know, I'm not, and that's just me. Because if anything, you know, if I'm a GM, again, I never will be, I would love to be, because I'd love to check. You know, if I'm doing that, I gotta sell tickets. You know, I don't know if bringing him in and having him sit for a couple years is gonna sell me tickets. I mean,
Well, these dudes, look, when you take somebody in the second round, you're not worried about selling tickets.
Yeah.
You're worried about building up a roster and getting somebody that might eventually be able to help you out. And that's what Bronny is. He's a project. And so anybody that takes him, if somebody was gonna take him high in the draft,
talking about 17.
I feel like that's just way too high. To me, that's a wasted pick. But when you look at who else is there at
in the
17,
draft, you
like is
throwing out temp chain.
whoever's at 17, right? Are they going to give you that much more than Bronny's going to give you?
Right.
Probably
Well,
not,
I don't know.
because you're developing. You're trying to develop them all. So if you're the Lakers, again, you can throw LeBron a bone for saving your franchise, because it was in mediocrity city till LeBron came. Say what you want. You're back on top of being, the most talked about, whether they're underachieving or not, or whether he's 100 years old or not. They weren't making the playoffs. They say what you want. It was in the bubble, but guess what? They still got a ring. They still got a trophy, a banner hanging up, and they're not having that without LeBron.
Right.
And if you want to say, you know what? We're going to draft your son. We're going to make your dream come true. Sounds like they're drafting his boy. It sounds like they're drafting JJ. LeBron is just going to catch so much. That's the thing. I can't feel bad for a billionaire, but I feel bad for that billionaire, because he just catches. He's going to catch it again, man.
It's crazy.
I mean,
We're giving LeBron all these favors, and the team's going to lose, because I think the
Well-
team's still going to lose.
and that's because they're old, just different. I mean,
They're not old. He's old.
Yeah.
but still.
AD should be killing it. The rest of these dudes
Yeah.
should be killing it.
The little French fry should
Hold
be
on, hold on,
killing it
hold on.
over there.
I'm just saying.
AD be killing me, dude.
AD is literally a French fry.
I'm like, bruh, what you
My ankle here, I can't play.
Again,
But nah, he AD
should-
for a reason though.
should be,
Yeah.
you know,
Like I said,
But not only are we talking about Bronny because of LeBron, because I mean,
Yeah.
if it was just LeBron, it'd be like whatever.
Yeah.
But we also, it goes back to last episode that we did. We're talking about Bronny because
Yeah.
what? LeBron is still the face of the league.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what it is. I mean, but that again, what does that make for? A good story.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, if he wasn't his son, he would not be getting the attention.
yeah, nobody would care.
Nobody would care. I
He'd
mean,
be just
but-
some dude in the
Yeah.
G League or
Right.
some
Yeah,
dude
and
on.
that be the truth. Think about it. Okay, Michael Jordan. Any of Michael Jordan's sons playing basketball in the NBA.
I ain't even
Are
hear-
they?
We didn't even hear any really stories about his sons playing basketball in college.
His
Yeah.
last story was when he left a school because the school didn't want to switch because they had signed a deal with Adidas. And everybody was like, you ain't Michael.
Right.
He said, but I got to wear my dad's shoes.
Call your dad.
Like, what? Like, bruh.
I mean,
I mean, I
I
get
get
it.
it.
I get it. But for the masses, you're like, bruh, you leaving the school because they signed a deal with Adidas. He said, but I'm Michael Jordan's son. But yeah, you ain't Michael.
You ain't improved.
You ain't Michael.
hey,
You ain't betraying your dad.
I ain't gonna lie. I know
Look,
I'm saying it. I know
still
I'm
got
saying
30
it.
You
It's
still
cool.
got $30 trillion.
look,
But I'm also gonna transfer if I can't wear my dad's shoes.
I mean,
I get it, but like I said,
All right,
and the
y'all
school,
don't-
look, and the school was like, okay.
yeah,
But
but
they wasn't like they were like, no, don't go, don't
Yeah.
go. They were like,
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
see
yeah,
you
you're not that
later.
good. Yeah, yeah. But think
You
about,
know?
but think about this. Think about this too, right? That was a different time, right?
Yeah, it was.
If
Yeah.
if Michael Jordan's kids, if this you could
Mhm.
switch it and this is now,
Yeah.
media would be all
Mhm.
over them, talking about how they're not any good,
Yep.
how they
Oh God.
y'all need to give up the sport because you're making your dad feel
Look
bad.
bad.
Matter of fact, his Jordan might be saying, they ain't my sons no more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo,
He's
son.
like, I need a DNA test.
Yo, for real, Jordan is the type of dude that would be like, don't talk to me about my son
Yeah.
till he could score more than 3 points a game. That's not, nah.
So Michael, how do you feel about your son in the draft?
Who?
I know he's in the draft. But who we talking
They'd
about?
be like, my what?
Who?
Steps.
Did he score more?
Not Steps, son. we talking about Steps. son.
They're like, how'd y'all find out about Jimmy?
Yeah, right.
Wait a minute. I thought that was hush hush.
Yeah.
I thought I paid her off.
Yeah, yeah.
The
But
black
yeah.
truck's gonna be outside.
But
But
yeah,
stop.
like I said, I mean, like, I'm not mad, like, again, I agree, like, my point is, we wouldn't be talking about if he wasn't his son, but again, I would do for my son if he had to.
Yeah.
You got to. I mean, like I said, that's what it's supposed to do, unless you're just a straight knucklehead. I mean, he's gonna be not the normal knucklehead that I'm not gonna say anybody else is a knucklehead, but
Yeah.
the fact is, he's had the pedigree, the training, he knows what to say, how to say, he knows how to carry himself, whereas others who are coming from other backgrounds
Yeah.
who have not had that are gonna be knuckleheads and, and
Bronny
again,
been in the NBA locker room since he was probably
Look,
6 years old.
Bronny has been rich and famous his whole life.
yeah, so.
There's a
again,
difference.
Yeah.
Being an NBA player, living that
Yeah.
lifestyle is nothing
Nah,
new to
yeah.
him.
Yeah, see, not only that, though, because you look at other people, we talked about this last week, we didn't bring up, did we talk about John Morant?
Yeah, look
Yeah.
at just a little bit.
So just a tad, think about if he'd had the same upbringing, would he be driving around with a gun in his car trying to play catch?
No,
No, he would not. He wouldn't be doing that.
unless he was trying to rebel. You know how some-
Yeah, against
sometimes
his
they-
father, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
you
his
know,
daddy
we've
would've
been
said,
living in the,
"Come here."
Yeah.
It's like, do you know what you're doing?
Yeah.
What you're doing to the family? Not to think
Yeah.
about you.
but that's the thing. He's gonna have to prove it against guys who are gonna come at him like,
Yeah.
hey, I don't have anything. I don't know who my dad is.
Yeah.
I was raised by my grandma, blah, blah, blah. I was raised like your dad was raised. You
Yeah.
weren't.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to take the spot you trying to take from me.
But see, but
And
then-
Bronny hopefully answers to that
He's
and
gonna have to. He's
sit
gonna-
and does his
again,
own-
you know,
yeah.
Because you said it earlier, and we don't give him enough credit. Like basketball is not always physical.
Well, see,
Like
no, we'll see.
Like
see, that's
it's
okay.
mental, and
Every-
even the veterans talk
Yeah,
about it
yeah, but
when
see,
they get
every-
scrutinized with games. Like I
Yeah.
can't handle it mentally.
Yeah,
And
but
he's
see,
been
but
handling everything right.
That's in every sport. Every sport is not just about physical. I mean, again, even the difference between, and here's an example. You talked about it earlier. You said, "Oh, I'm a 10 in this city." Okay, you a 10 in this city, but you in bum crunkle USA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, now you go to Charlotte, it's 12 teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta compete against them teams.
And then you go to Chicago and there's
It's
42
42,
teams.
yeah.
42 teams.
Yeah.
So you gotta have
Yeah.
the mentals to go with it.
Right.
You know, if you don't have and again, that's in every sport.
Yeah. That's what I watched when I watched Bronny at the combine.
Mhm.
So the first thing they were looking at is the just the combine stuff. How high can you jump? How tall are
How
you?
fast?
How
Feet.
fast can you run?
Yeah.
You know, so he did
Lateral.
well in those,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, that's a check mark. Then we're gonna do the shooting drills.
Mhm.
Okay, he did really well on that. Okay, check mark
mark.
on that. Now let's put you in the game.
Live play.
And he just kind of disappeared that first game.
Yeah.
And so you're like, that's the part where we're trying to figure it out.
It's like the
Second-
training doesn't relate to the game.
Second game, he played a lot better. He led.
Yeah,
the
he did.
scoring. So it's like you can see the raw, like the physical tools,
Mhm.
but you just got to figure out where does he fit in. He's gonna have to, and that's where his work ethic is going to determine
Where he
what
plays.
happens.
Yep.
Because his dad and his name have gotten him into the
Yeah.
door. His agent is going to get him a contract, going to get him drafted, more than likely. Now, how long you stay in the league?
All you need is how long to get veteran. Oh,
It's
you
up to
don't
you.
need, you don't need no money.
Yeah, it's up to him now. How
You
long?
don't need no money. I'm just saying, you know.
There's
so-
a lot of dudes that don't make it past their first contract.
Yeah,
That is
because-
true.
and that's 5 years. I mean, but and like I said, fortunately for them, that money's guaranteed. So
Yeah.
For the NFL, they'd be doing trash can jobs or something.
What's next? What's next?
All right, playoffs.
You know, it's gonna
Boston
be-
fans, hey man, Kyrie coming back to the city. Oh man.
See, they're getting a whole different Kyrie. So
They get new and improved Kyrie.
I'm the
older, wiser guy.
I have lots of takes on
Yo.
Kyrie. Kyrie with LeBron was the greatest. And if they would have stayed together, we wouldn't be talking about the Warriors like we talk about the Warriors.
Which duo was better though, Bron and Dwayne or Bron and Curry?
Kyrie. Because Kyrie could get a bucket anytime he wants. D-Wade, not so
In
much.
Miami.
When he went before his knees went out.
Well,
Yeah.
but I'm
Yeah, I'm
saying,
saying.
but I'm
I
saying,
mean, it was short,
but I'm saying you need a,
His knees went out. He can get a bucket now.
he
Hold up.
can get a layup.
Hold up.
You need a 3-point.
Yeah.
D-Wade ain't getting you a 3. Kyrie will get you,
Kyrie
Kyrie will get you anything you want. And that's what,
didn't have court shot. All right.
and that's what LeBron loves. He's like, look, this is hard. I need,
A red button.
right.
Literally.
Help.
And
Red button.
yeah,
A
so
red
the
button.
play is breaking down. The play, hey, Kyrie,
Yeah.
go do your thing. And everybody knows, all right, cool.
4 out. 4 out.
Yeah, just get out of his way.
4 out.
Yep. And so Kyrie, it just took him a long time to figure out because his whole life, he always thought, I'm the 1A alpha
And
dog.
that's what you talked about. Everybody has an ego.
And because in high school and college, he was the #1 pick. But every time he was on a team where he had to be the one guy to carry the team, it did not go well. Even when he went to Brooklyn
Mhm,
or Boston,
mhm.
when he had other talent around him, he was still expected to be the leader.
Yeah.
And the #1 guy didn't work out well. He figured out, dang, all this stuff LeBron been telling me
It's true.
is true. So flash forward to Dallas, I didn't think it was gonna work. Didn't think that was gonna work at all. But they hit the switch, they figured it out. Kyrie's like, look, I know this is Luka's team.
Yeah.
But I know what my role is, and I know I'm the veteran, and I
gotta
know
lead now.
and I know these guys all look to me, and if they need me to score 20 in the first half, I'm gonna score 20. If they need me to kind of,
Cruz.
yep, and get other people involved, I can do that. He's figured it out.
But
And
that's what it
so
takes, though.
the two of them are gonna be a problem.
I don't know. I mean, you can't ask for 2 better closers in that
No,
on the team.
You got 2 closers, and then with your
with PJ Washington acting like
with your role players now playing with, and look,
See,
Luka
that's-
gets in the paint, and then now he just throws up that lob.
yeah,
and
lively,
Derek
out there
Lively's
dunking,
coming
yeah.
out of nowhere. And
Gaffer, yeah,
Gafford coming out of nowhere. Like,
See, that's the thing though. See, that's
dangerous.
that's what's gonna be interesting. Like, because it's looking like right now, it's looking like the Mavs are basically a steamroller. right?
Mm.
Al
That's what it
Horford,
looks, I mean,
please,
no, I was saying,
ease
in that last game,
ice your knees.
because that last game, like I said, the game I watched, no, he gonna even work. That last game, they like flipped the, I understand Minnesota won one game, and it was like, okay, all right, that's nice. We about to send y'all home.
Yeah.
Now, when I watched, what is it? I mean, the Pacers game, I watched,
Boston, Indiana.
and I was just kind of like, y'all not gonna win this game. I said, because I don't see, you don't have enough scoring. You're not playing any defense.
Then you
It's
start-
not-
That's all they had is
Yeah,
scoring.
then your
until
star went
your
down.
star went
Yeah,
down, yeah.
so once he went down, I'm like, that's pretty much over. So they're smoking cigars. So to me, when you're pulling, I get you celebrate, you win. This needs to be a business trip for Boston,
Right.
period. This needs to be, we need to win it now because I don't see them coming back to this
See,
level.
Boston has everything you want on paper. They've
Oh,
been there. They
Yeah.
got 2 stars. Porzingis is coming back.
Yeah.
Good coach.
They had they got a good coach.
Yeah.
Everything you want. All the pressure's on them.
Yeah,
Yep.
see, that's,
Dallas is playing with house money
Yep.
because nobody thought they'd get this far. And when you got the 2 best closers,
Mhm.
and now the pressure is on Boston,
here we go.
and Boston has not done well under
Hold
that
up,
pressure.
and when is Jason Tatum gonna show up?
And Boston's been
Gonna
on their
see.
little break longer than Dallas.
Yeah.
Just a couple days.
Those couple days
I
matter.
know they matter, but I'm just saying, it's been a couple days, so, so you're gonna be the fresher team coming off of this, so that, like I said, so.
They have
Oh, yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I see what
they
you're
have
saying.
no excuses.
They
They
have
should
not.
have a full roster of everybody being healthy.
And maybe,
know-
and see, the thing about it, like I said, maybe was it Porzingis might be the key for them winning.
Yeah, he's gonna be an X factor.
Except for the fact that now you got to figure out how to work him back in because
Yeah.
you've gone all
Play
these
your
years
whole
without
last series
Al
without-
Horford was killing.
Or
for
maybe
you.
you don't need him.
No,
You're gonna need.
I said maybe,
No, you
You're
gonna
gonna
need
need
him. You're gonna need everything
Yes.
in your arsenal.
You just got to figure out.
to beat Kyrie,
Yeah,
to beat the Wizard and the European.
you're gonna have to. Yeah, you're gonna need because in a tight game, I feel like I know what I'm gonna get from Luca, and I know what I'm gonna get from Kyrie. I don't know what I'm gonna get from Tatum. I feel like I kind of know what I'm gonna get from Brown.
Brown, yeah.
I know what I'm getting from Brown. I don't care if it's 12 people in the hole, he coming.
And actually, I
I'm shooting,
think
he doing
for
fine.
Boston, the X factor is gonna be Porzingis, Derek White, and Drew Holiday.
Okay.
They're gonna have to. You're not gonna be able to stop
Yeah.
Luca and Kyrie. You're gonna have to make it difficult, and you're gonna have to hope that their role players don't go
off.
crazy.
Yep.
Because again, Boston's got everything you want.
Well,
And if they don't win it this year,
they're not winning.
oh man, it's gonna be tough.
They are not winning.
Because you got everybody else coming back healthy because they had a easy run this time.
Like I said,
People
it's
were
gonna-
hurt.
Yep,
They
like I
got
said,
all these young teams,
like I said,
all
it's gonna
these
be tough.
injured teams. And
See,
so
see, then you gotta do, like I said, then like I said, if they don't win it now.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that 300 million back.
No, they about to give out another
Oh,
300
yeah,
million.
they about to give out-
Yeah.
like I said, if they don't do it, they're not getting rid of Brown, they're not getting.
they're not getting rid of either one of them.
So guess who's going, like I said last week, that coach gonna have to take somebody gotta go.
That check
Yeah.
bounce.
He said,
Man,
"Excuse
that
me?
check
Hello,
bounce.
look, I just went to the bank and they said my account was short
Yeah.
30 mil. Yeah, yeah, it is. You ain't see the news. You fired, player.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's gonna be the thing, man. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting, to see. I wonder about the storylines they're gonna push because the game one, of course, is gonna always be fun. If the Mavericks take game one, it's almost gonna be like,
Mhm.
because that's it's gonna be like, iffy.
well, the
Right.
first storyline is going to be Kyrie coming back to Boston.
Yeah, so if he
That's-
kicks in,
that's-
yeah,
And
yeah,
Porzingis playing against his old team down.
Yep.
yeah, so so that'll be the storyline there. So if you pushing,
And then your
No,
second is gonna be what? Brown, Tatum getting their first ring, Luka maybe get his first ring,
yeah.
Who's gonna? Yeah.
Kyrie getting his second
Yeah,
without
well,
Brown.
Kyrie, second without Bron, and I think that'll solidify him and his legacy.
Yeah.
Because you did it without Bron, you did it with him and without him.
Well, here's what you know what it's going to solidify that Kyrie
The best Robin.
is the greatest Robin. in
I'm
history.
not saying he's a.
Now I'm just saying,
Yeah.
as long as,
I'm gonna
look,
say
look,
it.
my
as
take-
long as he keeps it
But look,
real.
look, my take on Kyrie was always dribble, take a shot. Like, bro, you got 5 other people standing out on the wing. Dish the ball. I got this.
See, now it's
you got 40, but we lose it.
yeah. Now it's Oh, you need me to score?
Yeah.
All right, get out the way.
Yeah.
What you want me to do? You want me to make somebody fall?
Yeah, like he literally asking how you want me to.
You want me to go with the left hand?
Yeah, no, yeah.
You want me to do the pull up three? What you want?
And then sometimes, especially this past season, Kyrie will get up there and dunk.
Yeah,
You'd be like, whoa.
you know, old man getting up, you
Yeah.
gotta get it up, but yeah,
And you know the other part of it, I think that's really helping him. He let his beard grow out, and I think he got more power. But I think the thicker his beard gets, the older he gets.
Well, they better
The-
be thicker.
Yeah.
You better figure it out, because like I said, well.
Don't shave, Kyrie. Don't shave.
Well, Don't
Don't
shave.
shave.
But like I said, for Boston, like I said, I mean, they look like it, but they looked like it before.
Yeah.
And like I said, when they played Golden State, I was like, yeah, they took that game one, and I was like, yeah, they're gonna lose this. How you know, bro? So I said, where was
Don't let it go to game 7, please.
yeah, I said, where was Tatum? I said, Tatum disappeared.
Luka
in the
does
series.
not play about game 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't.
And Kyrie, they said Kyrie only has one. All the games he's played,
It's like 14-1.
they've only lost one
14-1.
elimination game, and that was
Yeah.
this past series.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna be. I hope it's interesting,
Yeah, I think it
because
will.
I don't think it's not gonna be a sweep. Because that,
No.
I don't. It's gonna
It's
be.
going to 7. I think it's
six.
going
I think it's going to 6 or 7, but I think game 6 will be done. So I mean, like I said, whoever takes. Because because I think Boston, they got to win game 1. I think they'll split game 2. They'll roll it and they'll split it, and I think they'll settle it in 6.
Okay.
So I think that, I think somebody's going to, because I mean, I don't see the Mavs losing the way, especially the way they play. Good God, dude. I watched that game and I was just like, Jesus Christ, this game was over halftime. I need to watch the rest. They up by 20 points. They
Yeah,
up
that's
by
when
20
that's just another example of why.
Yeah.
Pumpy breaks on Ant-Man
Mhm.
being the face of the league. He's 22. He's got some time. Slow down with that a little bit. Let's see what happens.
Well, like
But
the-
they're a young team. They shouldn't have made it that. Nobody thought they'd make it that
Well,
far.
see, like I said, when the spotlight gets turned on, the question is, will you perform?
Well, he killed it. He had what?
No,
30?
I'm talking. No, not that. I'm talking about going forward.
Oh,
Because think about it, when the bar is set low, and I go here, oh yeah, but then when I gotta go here,
They
that
expecting to win now.
that climb is a little tighter.
Dame Lillard.
Dame, like you said,
Exactly.
Dame was the face, had that one shot from half court, blew up, went to went to
Bucks.
to the Bucks. Then
Yeah.
they
Didn't show
well,
up.
hold up, first round exit, right?
Yeah, well, Giannis wasn't it?
I'm just-
Didn't
Ah,
show up.
that
That's
matter.
what we paid for.
Look,
Didn't
don't
show
matter.
up.
Cause ain't no excuses when you're getting that money.
Yeah, didn't show up.
You carried a team before. You should be able to carry. This might not have been your team, but you gotta carry it.
So you got
Mm.
Celtics in 6.
Oh no, I said no at game 6. I don't know who's gonna win it. I'll probably have to watch.
What you got? Who you got?
I'll be honest, I'm gonna have to watch the game. I'll watch the first 2 games, then I'll tell you.
Okay.
Man, Luca and Kyrie, man, are gonna be a problem. But I think Boston finally gets over the hump.
Well, Kyrie, as of recent, I've been reading more. I got my third eye open. Spiritual now.
Oh, geez.
I got Dallas in 7.
Okay.
Okay.
I won't be mad at that. I won't be mad at that because I've never
I
been.
got
a
them
Boston-
winning in Boston.
Okay.
Woo,
I've never
somebody
been-
get fired.
Man,
Somebody get
Steph did it
fired.
last year.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, but
Yeah, but that's different though. Yeah, I mean, everybody knew that was gonna happen. Everybody started forcing everybody left.
I got my third eye open right here.
Right. Hey, look, if
We talking.
hey, here we go. Before we get off here,
All right.
if the Mavericks win and Kyrie is the MVP, you know what that means?
Somebody.
The earth is flat.
Yeah.
That's gonna, hey, it's gonna prove it.
Can I grow my hair back, man?
Hey, the earth really is flat. And I hope he's up there with the trophy and they say, Kyrie, you did it, man. You're the MVP. What you got to say? Don't fall off the edge of the earth.
Dallas winning 7. Juan got to grow his beard out.
What? I ain't got the look, bro. That's gonna be kind of rough. There's gonna be some bald spots because I don't have a full beard. Like this is about as good as it gets.
Oh, it's all right.
Like, bro, we walk around like this. Like, what is that? Yeah, I lost, bro. I lost. Like, nah. Like I said, I'm gonna have to watch the first 2 games, and I'll get my pick next week.
Got you.
Like I say, because like I said, it's such a toss up.
It is.
It really
it
is. I mean, because they're I wouldn't say they're pretty evenly matched. Like I said, okay, I'll say this. All right, I'm favoring Boston because they have the duo and because of my past experiences of watching
Boston, they
Okay.
just don't show up in big games. I mean, and again, that's the hump they have to get over. You got 2 stars. You had a guy, I think it was, who was they had somebody that year because it was 3 of them, and only, like I said, once they took away, it's like Tatum just disappeared. I don't know if because he was young.
Man, he's not that young.
I'm just saying, I didn't know, but
Yeah.
I was kind of like, bruh,
What we doing?
what you doing?
Yeah.
Like, bro, this is game 7, and you acting like
Yeah.
what's
Yeah,
going on?
like
I don't
it's
know.
casual.
Bro, it's game 7 NBA, bro. Look, ain't gonna no games next week.
Yeah.
Leave it all on the floor. So again, I am favoring the Mavs. Like I said, I'm gonna watch 2 games, then I'll get my pick. But again, I believe it'll be done at 6.
You just said you're favoring the Mavs.
I said I'm favoring, but I said favoring. I ain't picking. I said
Okay.
favor.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna wait till game 5 and I'll tell you what I'm taking.
No, no. Like I said, but I
Might be over by then. If
6
Dallas
game,
on the road.
look, 6 game series. Like I said, it's gonna be 4-2.
Okay.
Whoever's gonna win, it's gonna be 4-2.
Okay. Hope it's a good one.
I mean, I hope so, because they need the ratings.
You know what, the ratings ain't, it's still not gonna be a big rating winner, but
Yeah, because it ain't.
yeah.
But no, but like with that, like I said, this episode's coming to a close. Like I said, again, please like, share, subscribe. And again, leave comments. We might read them, then again, we might not.
And if you really disagree with something that one of us said, go ahead and say that, because then if we read it, we might mention it, and then that might spur another conversation.
That might inspire us.
Not read nothing. Just kidding. But again, 3 guys who came together organically to talk about sports from a novice point of view. Like I said, please like, share, subscribe. And with that, we're going to end this episode. Like I said, we got my man.
AJ.
Jay,
We got A-Dub signing off. Y'all enjoy.
peace out.
Scrubs.